Hey Lee Tribe, so today I want to talk about the cross niche strategy, which is a strategy that I have relied heavily on, and I would bet anyone who's getting organic sales daily like myself is probably doing the same thing. If you're new to print on demand, the cross niche strategy is heavily popular. It's basically when you take two broad topics, or sometimes maybe not so broad, and instead of relying on getting traffic from the one topic, for example, a roses t-shirt or an American flag t-shirt, you combine the two topics together in your design and your title and your keywords to give yourself more keyword coverage. So keyword coverage just means you now have more keywords that you can get found for instead of just competing for a very, very broad term. It works like a charm when the idea and the keywords come together. So imagine an American flag shirt, but instead of the stripes, you have the stripes made up of lines of roses. And we've seen this idea done to death, especially with baseball. It's actually a very, very good idea because it works, and people do it with all different niches. Now, the question that I always get about this strategy is, how do you know that there's demand for that if no one, or if there are no shirts out there with that idea? How do you do keyword research for that? My answer to that is you have done the keyword research. You already know that baseball shirts are selling or they're hot, and you already know that roses are hot. And I'm just using roses as an example. So if 4th of July is coming up, you just use a little bit of common sense and go, okay, how can I take two things that I know are relevant right now and merge them together and upload them in time to get exposure? So that's the idea. Now, you don't know if it's going to sell sometimes, but if it does sell, and this is what's happened to me so many times you'll be the first, and that's going to give you an advantage. And so this is what confuses people. They're like, well, who's going to think to search for Rose's 4th of July shirt? But this is the thing that you guys need to understand. If you're going to do print on demand, and if you want organic sales, you have to spend time understanding and learning what the algorithm does and how it works. So the algorithm is this computer program that basically determines how products are displayed to you on the site or when you do a keyword search. But everybody always focuses on the keyword searches or the rankings when you type in keywords. Don't forget about other areas of the algorithm. For example, if you go to the Amazon homepage right now, I guarantee you're going to see a section on the homepage that says related to items that you viewed. And then there's another link that says see more. So you can click through to that and you're going to see recommendations for things that are related to what you've searched for. Also, as you're checking out, I'm sure you've seen recommendations where it says, oh, because you've purchased this, you might like this. So what happens here is, let's say someone has bought a lot of roses shirts or they've bought a lot of American flag shirts. The algorithm is smart. Amazon programs it to be seasonal. So if 4th of July is coming up, they'll go, because you've purchased a lot of roses t-shirts, we thought you might like this. Bam, there's your roses American flag shirt. So the key here is, you guys, don't forget about other areas of the algorithm. And I know it's very uncomfortable for those of you who are not selling yet and you're kind of afraid to put up something. And one thing that I have learned by chatting with a lot of you guys and reading your comments here, a lot of you newbies or those of you who are struggling, you're very uncomfortable with just the unknown or putting something out there. And I got to tell you though, that's the way you learn and that's the way you sell. A lot of the things that I talk about in my videos might be completely contradictory to someone else. Blake from Merch Campus or RJ Martinez or someone else might be completely different because we have different results. We have different opinions based on things that have worked for us. But we learn that by uploading. And if you have analysis paralysis and you're so afraid and you want to get all your ducks in a row before you upload, you're going to think yourself out of this completely and you're going to get discouraged. You just have to upload. You got to know that only 20 to 30% of your stuff is going to sell. Now, that doesn't mean to not have a strategy at all. It doesn't mean to just go willy-nilly. Oh, I'm just going to upload what I want. I did have somebody tell me that recently. They're like, Lisa, I'm not selling because I don't like doing research. I just want to upload things I like. But I was like, that's why you're not selling. You do have to do the research. So the research is you've got your two broad topics. Now, the second step is let's come up with something creative that combines those two together. That's your research. And then the rest of it is a little bit up to chance. And that's something you have to be comfortable with. And the one thing I've learned through this journey, and there's sort of a disconnect between myself and some of you guys, I am very, very comfortable with the unknown and doing a lot of stuff that's not going to work. Always do your basic research. I would never say just do anything you want. But when you've got a new idea and it's fresh, Sometimes you just got to put it out there. And if it does sell, even if it's only 10%, 20% of your uploads, it can pay off in the long run. And then you can start scaling that before the other people catch up and realize what's working. And that's what's happened to me a lot with print on demand. So just remember that, you guys. As I said before, most of us are not selling the majority of what we upload, but when we get something early or first, we scale it. And the whole point is to be ahead of the curve. Being ahead, 3 steps ahead of other people is such a huge component of this. So please don't forget that. Don't be so hard on yourself, you guys. Just try it. You never know what might sell. I had a student once and she was like, Lisa, I need you to look at my shirts. And it was like 10 shirts. And there was one I really didn't care for. And I told her, I said, I don't really understand the thought process behind this design. That was the design that sold. She was like, it's funny that you don't like that because that's the one that sold. So it goes to show, I don't know everything. I can only tell you what has worked for me, but I can also tell you that I upload a whole lot of stuff. And if you want to learn this business, you have to be comfortable with doing that. So that's it. Just wanted to say that, you guys. I am going to be taking not a break, but I probably will slow my uploads down in the next, month and a half toward the end of summer. I got things to do, places to go, people to see, words to say, and courses to create. I got a lot of stuff going on right now and it's all good, but I need some time. So if I slow down my production, you guys, I'm not going anywhere. I just got a lot on my plate right now. So thank you guys for watching and I will see you when I see you.